right, hello media arts and video students. Welcome to this week's video, which is going to be all about how to use WeVideo. Now, we are in our next to last video project that is going to be due at the end of next week. We're not adding a new assignment because there was no school on Monday, so because of Memorial Day. So we're going to be wrapping up our videos for either media arts. Okay. So if you're in media arts, you're working on your joke of the day. And if you're in intro to video production, you're either doing your teacher interview, your random fact of the episode, or your photography bio video. So in any of those, for any of these video projects, you're going to need to use WeVideo. And I'm going to make sure that by now, everybody knows how to use this program, how to get the most out of it, and how to finish up our videos. Because we're all going to do one last video next week. That'll be it. So let's just make sure we learn what we need to learn. So what you're going to do is you're going to start off at the school's website if you haven't done so already, and you're going to go to the Students tab and click on Class Link. Class Link is really important because it's going to get you to WeVideo for your account, not the free version that's going to put a big watermark and not have all the fun features. So you're going to sign in with your school username and password. And then once you get there, you're going to see you have a variety of apps that you're going to be able to use. You're going to click on the WeVideo, and it is going to take you to a page that looks like this. All right, so now we are on the home page, and you can do all sorts of things. But let's just go ahead and hit Create New and start a video. It's going to ask where you want to save it. It doesn't really matter. You're going to hit Start Editing, and then you're going to be able to see all of the media that you've imported into WeVideo, as well as a blank project that you're going to be able to drag media from the library above into. Now, if you're watching this video and it's your first time through WeVideo, you probably don't have anything there yet, and we want to change that. So let's talk about how you're going to make your video, and not just how are you going to do the bare minimum to make a video, but how are you going to make a great video. And because we're working from home, many of you will be using a cell phone as your primary tool. So the first part of this video, I'm going to show you how to use a cell phone to record and then eventually get your footage into here. So let's take a look at that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on my trusty cell phone, and I'm going to go into video mode. And actually, you know what? I'm going to screen record my phone, because then it'll make more sense. You'll be able to watch it as we're going. Okay, so what I'm going to do is open up my video mode, and I'll have the camera facing towards me so that you can see the whole process. I'm going to just go ahead and record some video. Hi Herons, how's it going? Mr. Oliver here with your random fact of the episode. Now I could keep going, but you guys understand how video works. Then I press stop, and I've got a clip that is good to go. I can just double check it and make sure it looks fine. All right, looks good to me, so I'm going to stop that and not worry about it. Now, the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I have the Google Drive app installed on my phone. I think this is the easiest way to move footage into WeVideo. So what you're going to do is you're going to go and open up the Google Drive app. If you don't have it downloaded, I recommend getting it, and then you're going to use your school account. So I'm going to open up my Google Drive. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to press this plus button in the bottom corner, and I'm going to hit Upload. And I'm going to choose photos and videos. If it's your first time, you may have to give it permission. I'll go into my recents, and I'm going to click on my video, and I'm going to hit upload, and it's going to start processing my upload. So while that's doing that, I'm going to move on to another step. So now that our video is probably in Google Drive, we're going to go ahead and look for it. So if you open up a tab and you open up your drive, one feature of your Google Drive is you can sort by most recent. So if I click on recent, I should see the most recent video that I just recorded. So if it's not uploaded yet, I'm not sure, but it will be there soon. It looks like it's still in the process of uploading. Hey, there it is right there. This is it. Now it does take a second to process, but I don't feel like waiting, so I'm just going to download it to show you by hitting my download button. But this is my video. It should be ready to go. And if I double click on it to play it, let's see if this worked. There it is. This is the video you just saw me record a second ago from my phone. By using Google Drive, I was able to add it into here. So, hey, Mr. Oliver. Wow, look. It's kind of crazy. All right, so at any rate, Now I have that video and I know it's good. Now I didn't need to download it to my computer. All I needed to do was have it in my drive. Okay, so now that I have my video and I know it's in Google Drive, I'm gonna move on to step 2, which is importing footage into WeVideo from Google Drive. So where was my video? Was it here? Yes, there it is. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and import this footage. So up here you see a little button that says import. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna click on that button right now. Once we do, you could import from social sites such as Drive, Box, or whatever that is. Drive is what we're going to do, so we're going to click on Drive. Make sure you've given it permission, and I should be able to just go into my most recent folders. It's not in there. Well, I know the name of this file, because if I go back to my Drive, click on Recent, I could just search for it that way. I could also move it into a folder that might make it easier, so it's img_7408. If I go into WeVideo, it is img_7408. And I'm going to search for it. And there it is. I'm going to click on it. I'm going to hit select. And then now it's adding into the computer right now. So when you go out and film, you probably are going to be a little bit easier to use your cell phone to do some recording. So as long as you have the Google Drive app, I'm probably still recording on this. I could probably stop. And is it stopped? Let's just make sure. Yes, it is. Okay, so if you have a cell phone that you're able to record video on and you're able to add Google Drive to it, you should use that tool to your advantage because this is much more portable than a computer, definitely a desktop computer, but even your Chromebook, and you can get better video quality. You know, a cell phone does pretty high quality footage, especially if you're in good natural light. So I highly recommend that you go ahead and record some great video footage, use Google Drive, add it in, and now you're ready to go. So now I can take my video and I can drag it into here on either the video 1 line or the video 2 line. And when I do, and then I play it, it's gonna take a moment to prepare. And then there is my video, and it is ready to go. I can make all sorts of edits to it. If there's a part of the video where I'm waiting to talk, things like that, here's before I talk, right? I could go ahead and hit the scissors, and then I could cut and delete. And so you're gonna trim parts out. For these videos, I'm looking to see a whole bunch of different video clips cut together and edited down. That's what video editing is all about. It's not about just having one clip recorded on a webcam, but it's about making a video with multiple angles. So whatever video you're making, whether it's a joke of the day for Media Arts, or if it's your random fact of the episode, or photo bio video, you should have all sorts of different camera angles involved in your video. Now, another place where you can add some footage that can really enhance your project is just by going into the stock media. So let's move on to the next part of the lesson where we can talk about stock media. If you click on stock media and then you want to have a video of just about anything at all, for example, I'll do paper airplane because last week on Heron TV you probably saw some footage that looked like this. So I took this footage and I just found it in stock footage and I was able to edit it. So look at that. I now have footage of a paper airplane. If your random fact of the episode is about paper airplanes, go ahead and add some stock footage of it. If your joke's about paper airplanes, add some footage of that. Now, on this note, if you were to take some footage and put it on video 2 line, what you're gonna be able to do is have your talking happening while the footage cuts away to it. So this is just of a still picture of someone getting ready to throw a paper airplane, but I think you get the point of how you can do that. Now, if you're telling a joke about camels, go ahead and add a picture of a camel, and then all you have to do is add it to this line. All right. Now let's move on to the next step, which is actually probably the first recording step if you're not using a cell phone. So let's say that you just wanted to record some footage of yourself talking from your webcam. You can totally do that. And all you need to do for that is go to, let's see, the 3 lines here. Nope, that's not it. You're going to go to My Media. And then on My Media, instead of hitting import, you can actually just hit record. Now, what you'll do for that is you get to choose webcam, screen, or screen and webcam. I just recommend go ahead and doing webcam for this. And then you're gonna hit that. And then you'll hit next. And then you'll hit start recording. You'll probably have to give it permissions if you haven't used it before to say it's okay for my microphone and for my camera to be accessed by WeVideo, give it those permissions and you'll be ready to record. You're gonna press start recording. It'll give you the 3, 2, 1 countdown. And hey, here I am talking about your random fact of the episode. Then I hit stop and it's going to save my preview of it. And then you hit save. And now look, it's magically added it. I could add this here. I could have this going on. So now I have 2 different videos happening while talking. That would be crazy. I don't know why I would do that, but you get the idea that you can move any media around to any of these lines. Now, you can do all sorts of things when you're editing, and let me show you some of the power of the edits you can do. So our next step is going to be how to make some changes to footage once it's in here. So if I have this first footage that I recorded on my cell phone, I can change the size of it. Right? I could say, all right, I want this small. And then I could say, I could come over to this left here, I could just move it, right? And then I'm gonna hit save changes. Now let me take the other footage and I'm gonna put this on top of it. Now this doesn't actually make sense to do in this video, but I'm just showing you some things that I could do. I could make this smaller also. Now I have 2 videos going in the same screen, right? You could continue this process over and over again if you wanted to, because what you can do here on the left side of the screen, when you hit that plus, you can add another video track. And if you did that, I could copy and paste this one, and now I could have it 3 times. Oops, cannot be placed, why not? Let's just copy it and paste it at the end here. Why not? There's not enough space? Yes, there is. There we go. So I could put a 3rd clip on top of it. And now I have 3 clips when I double click here. I then have this one also. So, and you can just change the size by doing that. So you could have all sorts of video playing on one line. You hit save changes. And now this is going to sound crazy, but you can see it has multiple pieces of video all playing at once. You can do some same things. The other thing you can do is you can add a track. And if you add another video track, you could do this for graphics, right? So if you want to add some text to your video, it really helps when you make a title, or if you want to emphasize the point as you're going along, you can take these and you can put them directly above. Now I'm going to have words that appear over top of my video. Now the other thing is, let me slide this to the side here. I'm going to move all 3 of these. Actually, I'll just put this at the end so you can start seeing. Another cool thing you can do is I could take this and I could go into backgrounds, right? I could find any of these backgrounds that I think look neat. I could add them onto a video 1 line, and now I have my title over top of a background. If I choose to not use a background at all, it'll just be white text over a black background. Now you can make edits to that text also by double clicking on it, and then when you come into this part, right, the properties of it, you could do the color palette. You could say, all right, I want this to be this color, and then I want to change to this font, right? And then you want to change the size. If you make it manual, you can just make it grow. I could make it 200 and see what that said, right? Does that save? Oops, I put a weird thing. Save changes. And now I've got a giant text, right? A little too big here, but that's how you make titles. You could move titles so that they're over top of things. So if you wanted the title to be over top of a graphic, you just stack them up. So all this is pretty straightforward as far as how you add graphics, pictures, titles, video, whatever you end up having, go ahead and drag it onto that timeline so you're able to work it. Now, the other thing you want to do is you want to make some snappy edits, right? So if you have parts of your footage where you're getting ready or you hear someone in the background say, all right, go, you want to edit those things out. And so you can change the edges of clips by dragging on them, right? You can also move and cut. So go through and really try and edit it down so that it flows smoothly. Video editing is something that we really get into a lot when this class is taught in person. But since you're at home and you have access to this, go ahead and try and learn how to do some of the cool edits. It can really work nicely. All right, the final thing I want to talk about is music. Now, with music, you're going to go onto the audio line, and we will go ahead, and if you click audio, like it says right there, you can pick any song here. Now, we have access to premium music, so I hear a lot of these same first songs over and over again. But instead, what we can do, in fact, let me turn off my headphones so that you can hear as I'm going. But I hear this song all the time, which is fine. It's a good song. How do I stop it? There we go. Okay, I hear this song all the time because I know it's the first song that you can find in free music. Now, go into premium music, and then maybe you want a happy song. Click on cheerful, and maybe you want this song. Maybe that one. All right, so there's all sorts of songs you could choose. If I wanted to then take that song, let's hear this one. Cool. Then I would put it here into my video, and now it's gonna play. And hey, here I am talking about. There's my video going. I've got music. I've got footage. I have all sorts of things. Now, we haven't even gotten into transitions and other things you can add, but play around with this. The best way to learn a video editor is just go in and see what you can do with it. I've shown you the basics. I've shown you how to record from your cell phone. I've shown you how to use the import function and use the webcam. So you're gonna be able to create some things with this. And just do the best job that you possibly can with this. I get comments sometimes that people are confused on how this works, and I'm just want to make sure you've seen the video before you have these questions. Now, there is a problem that will happen from time to time where someone's footage is trying to import and it'll go over and over again and it won't seem to load. Now, if that happens to you, I highly recommend just hitting this refresh button, right? Refresh your screen. It's going to take a little while to get things ready, and it should work. Now, if that didn't work, just go ahead and quit, open it again, and then try that process one more time. So hopefully it does work for you. It is an internet-based one, so you need to make sure that you've got a pretty decent internet connection going while you're working on your video. All right, now when you're finished with your video, I've shown you these videos before, but let me just show you a quick reminder of how to export. So you're gonna hit this finish button in the upper right-hand corner, make sure your video has a title, all right? And then you're gonna hit set, and you now will see a preview of it, and you're gonna choose the highest definition quality you can, which is 1280 by 720. Now, here's the next step that a lot of people get confused on, and then when they hand me a video, they just give me a link, and I have to be logged into WeVideo to see it. If you click Make Export Public and Google Drive, when you hit export, it's going to automatically put it in your Google Drive, and automatically it'll have permission so that other people are going to be able to see it, which is me, so that when you go to hand it in Google Classroom, we won't have any issues that go along with that. So it's gonna be ready in a minute 53, so I'll let that just work. All right, as we're waiting for that to finish up, just a couple of reminders. There's not gonna be a secret word quiz this week. Because this is really just a review video. I know lots of you are already making videos and having a lot of success with it, but I know some people were struggling, so I wanted to help you out here. Now, if you need to meet with me for me to explain any of these steps to you, I am more than happy to do so. I just need to do it in a scheduled meeting. So I'm teaching science a few days a week, and I'm being a stay-at-home parent that's helping my kids manage distance learning and getting them to school in the afternoons. So just send me an email saying you want to meet, and I can get back to you really quickly, and I can meet any day of the week. Not at any time, but I do have a lot of times available that I'm able to meet with you and help you out. So like I mentioned before, we only have one more video after this. It's going to be a kind of summative what we've learned in media arts, and I really want you guys to dive in deep, get really comfortable with WeVideo. The other thing is, as far as I know, you're gonna have access to WeVideo through the summer and possibly beyond. So you might as well use this if this is a video editing software you like. You don't just have to use it for school projects. If you wanna screen record yourself playing Minecraft and then have yourself talking about it, go for it. Why not? You've got access to a video editing software that if you had on your own would be a subscription where you'd have to pay a significant amount of money in order to use. So, as long as we've got it, keep on using it. Now, if anyone's gonna be in my class next year, we're not gonna be using WeVideo while we're in school, and I'm not gonna get new accounts for people, but we are gonna be using a program called Final Cut Pro, which I do most of my editing in, and I think you'll really like what it has to offer and some cool things like that. All right, now my video is finished. I could go ahead and download it by clicking the download arrow. If I'm using a Chromebook, I would just then ahead copy it to my clipboard and I have it saved that way. It's also going to be in my downloads manager. But what I can also do is just go into my Google Drive. When I go into my drive and I hit recent and I record, there it is, title, there's my video. and it's going to take a minute to process probably. Actually, here it is. So now my video is ready to go.
And hey, here I am talking about...
All right, it's a pretty goofy video that I just made, but shows you the variety of things that you're able to do with WeVideo. So once you've got your edit complete and it's in your Google Drive, you're going to hand it in. So let me pull up a Google Classroom window here really quickly so I can show you what that would look like. All right, so Google Classroom, I'm going to go to a class that I'm a student of so it has the same view that you guys have, so that when I go into my classes, and here I'm a student in this science class, if I go into classwork and go to any assignment, I would hit view assignment, and you'll do the same for your video. You're going to hit add or create. You're going to choose from Google Drive. And in Google Drive, it'll go automatically to your recent. Look, there's going to be a video called Title. There it is. So I'll click on it, I'll hit Insert, and then I will turn it in. So that's how you make your video. Hopefully this video was helpful. Hope it cleared up a few things, and you should be ready to do some video editing. So whether you're using a Chromebook, a DSLR, or you're using a cell phone, you've got the tools you need in order to make a movie. So I want to see multiple angles. I want to see maybe some stock footage, hear some music, see some titles, and really see the amazing projects you can do. So have a great week. If you have any questions at all, just shoot me an email. I'll help you out. So that's it. Never stop creating, and I'll see you in the next video. All right. Have a good day.